Oh, okay, good evening, everyone. Welcome to this session. So, thanks a lot for taking time out and attending this awareness session. So, as you're all aware, at Double Entry Academy, we conduct this course, which is called the Certified Business Accountant course. So today's session is basically to kind of give you a briefing on what we do as a part of the course. That's the whole objective. So, and if you have any questions or clarifications in terms of, how the course is conducted, what do we do as a part of the course, please feel free to ask those questions. Okay. So before I begin, just a very quick round of introduction. All of us have spoken on the phone, I think, and we have already explained to you, but just a quick introduction. So my name is Akhil Kapadia. I am one of the co-founders of Double Entry Academy. I'm a chartered accountant and I have about 22 plus years of experience. Basically, I have worked in the big four firms, which is PwC and KPMG, and I was a partner in both the firms. And about 3 years back, Ram and I started this organization, which is called Double Entry. Okay. In Double Entry, we run two verticals. One is, of course, this academy, and then we also have our own accounts outsourcing company like Accenture and Genpact, where we have about 100 odd employees. Okay. So, I will give you a brief background on what we do as a part of the academy once Ram has introduced himself.
Hi, good evening, everyone. So I am also a CA with about 20 plus years of experience. I have also done CFA and MBA, after completing my CA. I have worked with various manufacturing companies like Auditors, Cummins, and then I was a CFO for a Godrej company in Hyderabad. And about 3 years back, as Akhil mentioned, we came out of our respective jobs and then we started off this organization.
Okay. My only request is, participants, if you can please put yourself on mute because there's some background noise coming. Uday, can you please put yourself on mute? Thank you. Okay, so I would just first, before I get into what is covered as a part of the session, I'll just give you a brief background on uh, why and what we do at the academy. So basically, over the last few years, Ram and I, we have been talking. So, we run our accounts outsourcing company, right? And as a part of that, we have been recruiting a lot of graduates, which include, BComs, MComs, MBA finance, and BBA students. And in our past organizations also, we have recruited many. So what we have noticed is, that between what is taught at colleges and what is expected in corporates, there is a little bit of a gap in terms of knowledge enhancement because a lot of theory is taught in colleges, whereas the expectation in corporates is very different. They expect students to know many practical aspects which are actually not covered in the syllabus at colleges. So what we have done is, we did a survey of almost about 100 companies, the CFOs and CEOs and the recruiting managers, and we identified what those gaps are because we wanted to start this academy and train students on exactly those gaps so that, it is easier to find jobs. Because the other thing that we also noticed is, a lot of people, all of you study, become graduates, whether it's an MBA or a BCom or a BBA or a MCom, and the jobs that are being offered in the market are not very relevant jobs. A lot of students are getting jobs in call centers for documentation or for some kind of telemarketing kind of work, etc., rather than getting jobs in the field of accounts and finance so that you can all build a great career and reach higher positions, right? And increase your earnings. So that's why we wanted to conduct this program where we train you on the main aspects of work which a commerce professional should know so that, the jobs that you get are also linked to accounts and finance and what you have studied. Okay, so that's the whole objective. So, based on the survey, we have developed this content, and I'll just spend a few minutes talking about what we do as a part of the course. Okay, at a high level, I want to tell you that it's a 50 hours program, and at the end of the course, we of course conduct an assessment, and then we also offer a placement program. Okay, and we will talk about that in detail in the following slides. First, I will talk about what is covered as a part of the 50-hour program. So, there are four main verticals, just for your information and knowledge. There are four main verticals in which all commerce professionals have to begin their career with, or, in which they build their career, right? So the first of those verticals is procure to pay, which is nothing but you must have heard of the term accounts payable, or invoice processing. Those are the fields in which we get jobs. So that process is called procure to pay. That is nothing but the process from where any company, from the idea of purchasing something, whether it's raw materials, inventories, fixed assets, or whatever they purchase, till the time of payment. So what is the process that is followed? And there are various processes, right? Like raising a purchase order, buying the materials, raising a goods received note, processing the invoice, doing some key reconciliations, confirmations with the vendors, and processing the payment. And in this process, there are about two, three categories of jobs that commerce professionals get. So we cover that. So, the way we have constructed this module is, we teach you what is the process. We do real life case studies on each of those aspects of the process, and we get you trained on that, so that you are fully equipped with understanding the procure to pay process. Okay, so that's one of the main verticals. The next vertical is order to cash. So, like procure to pay is the purchasing process, order to cash is the selling process, where right from the time companies receive an order from their customer to actually selling the goods, raising an invoice on the customer, and collecting cash and accounting for it. So that is called the order to cash process. So again, like in procure to pay, here also we tell you what are the various job opportunities, how the process works, make you do real life case studies on each of those processes, whether it's billing, collections, settlements, provisioning for debtors, etc. How the accounting of that happens, which accounting standards apply to that, and the whole process is taught. Okay, with real life case studies. Then the third vertical is record to report. So everything other than procure to pay and order to cash, that is other than purchases and sales, is covered under the third process, which is record to report. This is another very critical process in which commerce professionals get jobs. Now, in this process, we teach you how to do fixed assets accounting, how to do inventory accounting, quantity reconciliations and valuations, how are borrowings accounted, how is interest expense recorded, then how companies close trial balances, prepare financials, and prepare the MIS. So this is the third vertical. And then of course the fourth vertical, again very important, is compliances. So you are all aware, right? There are three, four main compliances like GST, TDS, Provident Fund, income tax, ESI. So we cover all those practical aspects of how an accountant gets involved in this compliance. Okay. After covering these four verticals, and again I'm repeating, these are the main verticals in which you will get jobs. So by the time we cover these four verticals, you will be absolutely prepared to attend any kind of interview, answer questions, and you will be thorough in this subject. Once these four verticals are covered, we teach you the basics of accounting, which is, the basic accounting entries. And then the most important part is FP&A, for financial planning and analysis, where, we teach you how to read balance sheets, how to read profit and loss account, how to analyze performance based on the balance sheet and P&L, and then also certain key ratios, how is return on equity calculated, how is debt equity ratio computed, and how do you read those ratios is taught, along with MIS, and basic tools for MIS. Okay. Having done that, then the next one is, we cover the treasury process, and we also cover, we give you a high level overview of the main accounting standards, IndAS standards, and also Companies Act. Now, obviously, these are very, very detailed topics, so we can't do it in full detail, but at least enough working knowledge on each of these aspects is given as a part of this course. Okay. Today's world, technology is very important. Now, for this course, what we cover is, we give you advanced Excel skill. So, we do advanced Excel skill, advanced PowerPoint, and advanced Word. And we will tell you at a high level how SAP and Oracle works. Okay. And finally, we also, it's very, very important to have good soft skills. So we talk about how to develop communication skills. We'll teach you that, how to attend interviews. We'll conduct a few mock interviews, time management, office etiquettes are taught, and also interviewing skills. So this is the full gamut of the program that we conduct. It's for 50 hours, And at the end of the program, we'll do an evaluation, and then you will get placement offers. Okay. So we'll just move on to the other aspects. Ram will take it.
Okay. So you would have seen that the curriculum actually revolves around practical aspects of accounting, and which is why we have called this course as Certified Business Accounting. It will obviously help you understand how accounting is done in the real world, which is why the name. So the course is basically completely taught online. There is no physical classes, so one needs to have a good internet connection and also a laptop or a smartphone to kind of attend the classes. The most important aspect of the course is 100% job assistance. So we have tie-ups with almost 50 to 60 companies in Hyderabad and outside also, like Bangalore, Pune, Mumbai, and other locations. So what we do is after the training is that we send your CVs to these companies, and then you will obviously do that shortlisting, and then you will get the interviews from those companies. So our commitment to you is that at least we'll get you about 3 or 4 interviews from various companies, depending on how you do, in terms of your assessment and all. But at least 4 to 5 interviews is what we'll kind of get you from these companies. Okay. Then the course duration is about 50 hours, which is spread over 2 months. Then the fee is 7,500. So if you know the market, the fee is very less as compared to the market standards, because similar courses. First of all, there are no similar courses available in the market, but there are courses on investment banking in other areas which will cost you about 35,000 to 45,000, depending on the institute. But we have kept it as low as possible so that maximum people can attend it and take advantage of the course. Uh, as mentioned earlier, the course is all about practical aspects of accounting. So the teaching is not going to be theoretical. It is going to be through real life case studies, and we will cover at least 20 such cases so that you understand those concepts. How it is done practically. Right? While the session is going to be online, but it will be live classes. There is no, it's not that we'll play the recording videos and all. Of course, there'll be recordings available for you to actually watch later in case you miss any classes. But the classes will be taken live by 90% of the classes will be taken by both of us, and then obviously there'll be few ones. So, like for example, the technology ones, and few other classes which will be taken by other faculty. But most of the classes will be taken by the both of us. The other important aspect of the course is that we'll also help you build your CV on LinkedIn, because that's the most important platform for professionals like yourselves. So we'll kind of help you there. Be there, how to actually build your CV and profile on the platform so that recruiters can see you, and obviously it will help you in terms of getting jobs in future also. And the other thing, other highlight of the course is that every day, while of course the classes are going to be for 1.5 hours, we have kept about 15 to 20 minutes dedicatedly for question and answer, so that if we are teaching any concept there, you will have the kind of the opportunity to ask those questions on the topic that we teach that day itself, so that if there are any doubts, we can clear it then and there itself. So that's about the course. uh, Anyways, if you have any questions, you can just write down in the chat box. We'll take those questions. uh, how to register? Obviously there are two numbers you will see on the screen. So these numbers are actually our numbers only, Akhil's and mine. So just take a note of it. You can take a screenshot also. And anyways, on the social media and website, these numbers are reflected. So you can touch base with us on WhatsApp, or you can directly call us also if needed. The important part I'll just go back to the slide. The important part here is that the course is going to start on 11th of December next week, which is Monday, right? So it's about 3 4 days from now, and we are trying to see close the registrations in the next couple of days. So today is Tuesday, so maybe by Thursday we'll close the registration. So if you really want to kind of get yourself registered for the course, please reach out to us as soon as possible before the registrations are over. Few of our faculty, these are all people from various, organizations which are really very large. Like for example, if you see on the screen, people are there from KPMG, which is one of the big four company accounting firms. Then we have people from Google. There are faculty. There will be faculty from HDFC Bank, and then all those organizations are very reputed. So obviously, there you will actually get to learn from people who have done the work all themselves. So it is all about how to do practical accounting in the real world. Uh, I'm sure all of you know anyways that the opportunities that are there in the market, but just to kind of summarize it, in the finance world, once if you have done MBA or BCom or MCom, few of those roles will be kind of available to you after the course. Like for example, one can become a payable specialist. Once you are, if you are actually put in that P2P area, you will actually get to do payable. So you'll be called as payable specialist, and then on the O2C part there will be receivable specialist. Similarly, if you are doing or if you want to build your career in R2R, it will be GL or MI specialist. Then somebody who wants to build their career in compliance, there is a role in compliance. So once you actually do this course, the entire gamut of roles actually open up for you, and 80 to 90% of the jobs are actually in this role in the finance world, in these roles, right? So it's very important to kind of understand what the roles are and how to build your career, and the course is going to actually kind of help you in achieving that objective, right? So some of the recruiters that we have, tie-ups with. So obviously you'll see Deloitte, PwC's name there, Genpact. So these are the largest probably BPO companies in the world. Accenture is there. We have also tied with manufacturing companies like Godrej. Wipro is also manufacturing and IT both. Then we also have tied with KPMG, TCS, etc. So these are just a few of the handful companies that we have tied with. In total, we have tied up with almost 60 companies in Hyderabad and also outside. So there is no dearth of jobs. As we committed earlier, we'll try and get to at least 4 to 5 interviews, and we are very confident that we'll be able to clear one of those interviews. Like in the past, people have cleared 2 to 3 interviews also, and they have they had the opportunity to choose between the interview that they cleared. But our commitment is that we'll get you at least interviews of 4 to 5 companies and for relevant roles. Okay, so that's about it. So if you have any questions, please you can unmute yourself and ask those questions, or also you can write down in the chat box. Very happy to answer those questions. I somebody has already, yeah. So I think I've already answered that. How many interviews you arrange? So we'll arrange about 4 to 5 interviews at least from various companies, and then obviously in the past the history says that in the first 3 rounds of interview or the 3 interviews itself, people get selected. We didn't have to actually go beyond that, but our commitment is that we'll get you at least 4 to 5 interviews. Any other question that you may have? I think there's offline course is there or not is one of the questions. So right now there is no offline course. Everything is online. We may get into offline physical classes in a few months' time, but at present it is not there. Then we have another question on after 5 interviews not selected. What is the next step, sir? So see, I mean that's a we don't feel that it will happen because in the past has never happened. So far we have kind of trained about 1,000 students, and about 800 to 850 of them have gotten jobs. None of them actually went beyond 3 to 4 interviews. So the likelihood of that is very less. Having said that, if in the unfortunate event of that happening, meaning you're not even getting selected in 5 interviews, then obviously we'll have to kind of retrain you, give you get you more mock interviews, and we'll kind of spend some time with you so that you clear those interviews. Because even for us, if you don't clear interviews, it's like a reflection of our work. So we want you to get the interviews or to clear the interviews so that you get selected there, right? how much salary can I expect after completing the course? So, see, salary is a function of your qualifications. Okay, BComs who come straight out of college, their salary is in the range of 25,000 or so. People with higher experience or at least 2 years of experience, they will get more than 25. There will be at least 30 or so. And then somebody who has done MBA finance, they'll have slight edge over BCom. So they'll start at a higher salary, even if they are freshers. So it all depends on your experience and qualifications.
Okay.
The course minimum qualification is BCom because or what happens is that the market is not ready to take people who even don't even have a degree, right? I mean a graduate degree. So the minimum qualification in here is a BCom at least, and BCom can be of general BCom or an honors BCom or computers also, doesn't matter. But BCom is the bare minimum. And my MBA regular mode. So yeah, there's no problem. Even if the degree is distance mode, but your MBA is actually a regular mode, so it's not going to be an issue. And companies they give weightage to a distance course also, provided it is done through a good institute. Any other question?
See, we just want to emphasize here, if you have no further questions, that we have developed this course with a lot of effort in identifying, what is it that we can do to get you a good job and to get a relevant job. So please make use of that, because it is not. I mean, we have done a lot of research around it, and the intention is to get a relevant job, because it doesn't feel like a good situation where students are actually taking up irrelevant jobs, or jobs that are not linked to accounts and finance, and that's the whole purpose of which because of which we have started this. uh, the students who have gone, attended, and taken up jobs, they are very, very thankful. They are happy. So we would just, encourage you also to kind of take that decision, so that, you benefit out of it. That's all we want to say. We have a few more minutes. If you have more questions, please feel free to ask.
Okay, so if there are no further questions, so obviously I'm sure you would have taken a note of the numbers which were on display, right? Uh, so these are the numbers on which you can reach out to us, and we'll be very happy to take your registration forward. Uh, just to kind of remind you, the class is going to start from 11th of December, which is Monday next week, so about 4 to 5 days from now. And registration process is very simple. Just reach out to us on these numbers, make the payment. There's a very small, simple admission form which has to be filled up, and then that's it. And the classes can begin from 11th December.
And also to add, we keep our batch size to only 25, because we want that we are able to pay personal attention to the students, since it's an online program. So please do register quickly. The seats are filling up. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.